So when we found any pathological changes in different tissue level in patient, in the person, then definitely he was constantly responding to some unfavorable stimuli. Many times, if during internship OPD duty, you can observe, or anywhere while practicing, if you go in detail about that patient, the patient was suffering from any advanced pathological changes, and when you go in detail about especially mental history, mental generals of that patient, then definitely we found that there are some unfavorable, constantly the person was responding to some unfavorable situation, and that response to unfavorable situation, that separation, in short, it leads into further afterwards any pathological condition, pathological changes at the different tissue level. But this common change in different tissue level shows the behavior of the whole constitution, which is important to understand the individual. So when such changes at the such pathological changes we found at the tissue level, then definitely it shows the behavior of the whole constitution of the patient, and at that time we have to understand the individual. It is important to understand the individual as a person. We can understand, we can go in detail about his mental general, physical generals while taking the pathological condition. While considering the pathological condition, we should go in detail about the individual. We should understand the individual. Then to find out the simillimum in such cases, in pathological conditions, we should have the knowledge of pathology. Then the keen observation is very much important, as well as the study of symptom is also very much important to detect the pathological general symptoms. So to while taking the history, we should have the knowledge of pathology. The physician should be keen observer, and he should have or he should know about the symptoms of that pathological condition, so that to detect the pathological general symptoms of that patient. In this repertory, in Boger, Moning-Hussein's characteristics and repertory, we found the most of the pathological general symptoms which are given in which section it was given. I previously also discussed about this. In which section pathological general symptoms are given in BBCR? Yes, Saroj? Saroj? Saroj is there? In which section in this repertory pathological symptoms or rubrics related to pathological general are given? Yes, Rahul? Rahul Bouquet? Rahul? Anyone? So in section sensation and complaints in general, as well as in section aggravations and ameliorations, we found most of the pathological general rubrics or pathological general symptoms in these two sections. For example, if a person shows degenerative changes at many locations or signs of early senility, the rubric would be senility, which we found in this repertory. Then discharges if common to two or more parts. If more than two parts show a similar kind of pathology. Such type of rubrics we found, as well as involvement of general location, glands, folds, orifices, etc. Certain tendencies, that is suppression, hemorrhage or diathesis, uric acid diathesis, etc. Constitutional types and miasmatic expressions, all these things we found under pathological changes in section sensation and complaints in general, as well as section aggravation and amelioration. In these two sections we found most of the pathological generals. So which are the pathological general rubrics which we found in section sensation and complaints in general? One by one we go through these pathological rubrics which we found in sensation and complaints in general section. These rubrics are atrophy or emaciation, indurations, offensiveness, fluorosis, constitution, consumption, convulsions or spasms, discharges, dropsy, hemorrhage tendency to inflammation, hypochondriasis, mucous membrane affected, muscles in general, obesity, corpulency, paralysis agitans, swelling, psychosis, syphilis, ulcers. These rubrics, such pathological rubrics we found in section sensation and complaints in general. Now in section or chapter aggravation and amelioration, we found uric acid diathesis, senility. Such type of rubrics we found in section aggravation and amelioration in general. All the rubrics mentioned in sensation and complaints in general are not pathological generals. There are most of the pathological generals, they are included, but not all rubrics are pathological general rubrics. Other rubrics are also included in these two sections, as well as different kind of sensation or pains if noticed in many parts, which can be taken as general symptom or general sensation. In the Boger's General Analysis and Synoptic Key, these books are also useful for purpose of using pathological generals. So the case shows a pathological general. It can be repertorized by using Boger's repertory, and there are different methods while using BBCR for repertorization. So finding out the similimum easily is the advantage of pathological general symptom. So many times for oral examination it was asked what is the advantage of pathological general symptoms. So when we cannot get the detailed history of the illness of patient, when there are advanced pathological state of the patient at that time to for finding out simillimum pathological general rubrics. They are very much helpful, they are very much important. A forced pathological general, it may fail in giving the result if there is if the pathological condition we found it was a advanced pathological condition at that time only, these rubrics, the medicines given in front of these rubrics, they are helpful. But if we considered the condition as a forced pathological general, then our result after prescribing the medicine, it may fail. There are chances of failure in giving the result. So that while taking the case, the symptoms which should be clearly interpreted from standpoint of pathology and expressions. So we clearly, properly interpret the symptom. Is it a clear picture of advanced pathological condition? Then only the medicines which are given in front of these pathological rubrics, they are going to help. Otherwise, we may fail to give the result to patient or cure such or palliate the condition of such patients. When we go through the repertory, then in front of these pathological rubrics, many remedies, group of remedies, they are given and they are included in front of these pathological rubrics after observing and confirming that medicine by giving the medicine in such cases. So these medicines are clinically observed and confirmed, and then only they are included in this repertory in front of pathological rubrics. And in some pathological rubric, in front of some pathological rubric, we found a very few number of medicines which are given, and so due to that incomplete list or imperfect list, due to less number of medicines, we can these such rubrics, they are less helpful for the repertorization, and we should cautiously use them for the repertorization. So these are the some, we say, disadvantage of pathological general symptoms, that we should first interpret properly. Is the symptom is pathological, is the pathology is advanced? Then we should find out in some pathological rubrics, we should find very few number of remedies are given. So while using these medicine, we cautiously use these medicines for repertorization. In this way, the pathological general symptoms are very much important, and many times short note on pathological general symptoms, it was asked previously in previous examinations. So you should know the examples of pathological generals, which rubrics we found in sensation and complaints in general section, then which rubrics related to pathological condition we found in aggravation and amelioration section, and which are the advantages uses of this pathological general symptom, which are disadvantages of this pathological general symptoms. Then examples, what is exactly the pathological general symptom, how they are helpful to find out the simillimum. So these all things you must include while writing your answer. Okay. So when we choose the repertory for repertorization, this repertory for repertorization, that is Kunigson's characteristics, materia medica and repertory with word index. When we choose this repertory for repertorization, then there are different methods for repertorization according to symptoms which we get in the case. So in his article, Dr. Boger, he emphasizes in his article some thought on prescribing. He said that first we should try to elicit the evident cause and course of the sickness down to the latest symptom. So first we have to find out the cause, then how the disease condition of the patient it get progressed, how the patient was before illness, then which things happen that his healthy state is converted into slowly into the diseased condition, how it was started, when it was started, and how the condition it get progressed, the disease get progressed. So we should know about all these things, how the patient, how the course of his disease from start up to the latest symptom, what may be try to elicit, what may be the cause to start that disease condition. So these things are very much important, and after these things it comes modalities and consideration of the mental state in order of importance. Then after modalities it comes the entire objective aspect or expression of the sickness, including the state of secretions, that is sensations, and lastly the part affected must be determined. So this is the sequence, this is the way how we should go while taking the case. So according to Dr. Boger, in short, according to him, he gave importance first to causation, then to modalities. In modalities, he first gave importance to time modalities. In that, first time related aggravations, then time related ameliorations, then general aggravations, general ameliorations with its mental state, then concomitants, whatever we found with the chief complaint, and after concomitants, sensations, whatever we get, sensations which are related to pathological general, physical general and mental general. So in sensations, in general symptoms, in sensations, we should take first pathological general symptoms, then physical general symptoms, and then mental general symptoms. In this way, Dr. Boger, he gave the sequence how we proceed for while taking the case. That means we should first find out the cause of the disease condition, then modalities, first time related modalities, then general modalities with the mental state of the patient at that time, then concomitants, then sensations, in that first pathological general sensations or symptoms, then physical general symptoms, and lastly mental general symptoms. In this way we should give importance, in this way we should take the symptoms, we should go to find out the symptoms of the patient. This repertory, while while working with this repertory, it can be used by different methods. So according to case, which method we have to select, it depends. So in short, the case which decides which method is applied to select the simile and not the physician. The case itself, it decides the which method is useful for the repertorization, and it is highly qualitative approach. So any kind of manipulation, it should be strictly avoided. And mental state, as Dr. Boningusen, he gave for final selection of medicine, he used the mental state. In the same way, Dr. Boger also advised that mental state, it should be used for final selection of the drug in all methods. Selection of method is fully or entirely based on the availability of the data in a case, which symptoms we get prominently. According to that, which method we should use for repertorization by using BBCR, it depends. So first method is using causative modalities in the first place. When we use the causative modalities, when a case, in the case the case has definite causative modalities, then this method we can use for repertorization. When there is definite causative factor, when there is definite causative modalities, then this method is useful. What is causative modalities? That is eliminating factors. Which factors due to which the disease condition starts. It may be mental causative factor, it may be physical causative factor. For example, due to fear or excitement, these may be the eliminating factors or causative factors of that disease condition. Fear of anything, fear of any person, fear of anything. So this may be the causative factor of that pathological condition. Any mental state, as I give for example, that is fear and excitement, but any mental condition, anything at the mental level, it may be a causative factor, or physical. The causative modalities, it may be physical, as for example getting wet in a rain. So these may be the causative modalities. And other modalities, for example general modalities. Other modalities means general modalities. In that we considered first aggravations, then ameliorations. In aggravation we should consider first mental aggravations related to mental symptoms, then ameliorations then aggravations related to physical symptoms. And in amelioration we should first consider the ameliorations related to mental symptoms, and then the ameliorations related to physical symptoms. So these are the causative modalities and other modalities factor. Then after considering causative modalities, other general modalities, we should consider the physical general symptoms of the patient, then concomitants, and lastly location and sensation in that case. So when we get the causative modalities prominently, when we get the causative modalities in the first place, then first we should consider the causative modalities, then other modalities, then physical general symptoms, then concomitants, then location and sensation of that whatever we get in that case. So in this way we go through, in this sequence we collect the symptoms from the patient when we get the prominent causative modalities in that case. When we get general modalities prominently in that case, then what we should do when we get the general modalities? If the case is having general as well as particular modalities, then we have to follow the following order. That is, we should consider the modalities first related to mental state, then the modalities related to physical state, then after modalities we should have considered concomitant symptoms, then physical general symptoms, and lastly location and sensation. So when we get causative modalities, we first considered causative modalities, then general modalities, then physical general, concomitant, and location sensation. When we get the modalities in first place, then we considered the modalities first, in that mental, then physical, then concomitant symptoms, then after concomitant symptoms, in this case we considered the physical general symptoms, and lastly location and sensation when we get the modalities, general modalities in the first place. Then there are about 8 methods of repertorization. So these are the first 2 methods. Then if we get in the case the concomitants in first place, then what we have to do? If there are clear concomitants available, and even without any modalities in that case, such type of cases can be successfully repertorized with the help of this repertory. But while repertorizing such case successfully, we have to follow the following order. That means first we have to consider the concomitant symptoms, then we have to consider the modalities. In that again, first we have to consider the modalities related to mind, then